flesje moet wel.
Je kunt nog het hart zien kloppen door het venster, dus dan kun je het goed in de gaten houden. Ik denk dat het heel belangrijk is voor het onderzoek.
Dat het nog klopt.
Ja. Lekker. Nou, stoof in.
Ja. Misschien. Het is mooi hè, het is een dubbele afgesloten, dan valt het binnen.
Plasmide. Het is een spulletje waardoor het embryo straks rood wordt en verkleurt. En het kan ook nog vervormingen geven aan het lichaam, zeg maar. Het kleine kwarteltje. En dat gaan we dan over een week bekijken. Dus dan maken we de embryo's weer open. En dan zullen we zien of het gelukt is. Maar ik vraag het me af. Ik hoop dat er in ieder geval 1 kwartel nog levend is en groeiende. Want dat is heel moeilijk. Ze waren allemaal heel klein en om dat erin te krijgen met te weinig lucht en zo, dat was allemaal moeilijk.
I think for my final project, I will tape the eggs to my body, maybe an hour a day, and make them hatch. They will hatch in 20 days, which will be about the final. So I hope I can bring 3 little pheasants here. And I think it covers all the themes discussed. It is a biology experiment, because I don't know if it's going to work. Your body is warm enough. When they will hatch, I will have 3 of them. And, I think I will keep 1 in my garden, a big garden. 1 I will put in the wild, so that's feed wild. And 1 I will cook for Christmas. So that covers the food part.
Bevrucht geweest.
Het waren allemaal verschillende eieren?
Hier, allemaal verschillende dagen, ja. Dus dit is de eerste die je ziet en die 2 niet. En dat is bij hem ook, maar hij heeft die 2 net wel. Zie je? Dus van de tweede dag zie je ook nog niks. En deze is echt wel heel groot. Ja.
But you can window your egg, and then you can look at it under the microscope window. You can play with it, I guess, and then you can put some penicillin, streptomycin, and then a piece of tape and re-incubate for another 5 to 12 days. And then you may see the difference of what you've done, right?
Wat zijn nu zwarte dingen?
Dat zijn ogen.
Ze zullen wel merken.
Kunnen die ook zo
Kijk,
groot
hier zie je de pootjes.
Kom hier. Dit is een pootje. Die kan eraf.
Ja, ik vind het eigenlijk
Zou het een vlees maken?
zo.
Ja, daar.
Haal je er nu uit of doe je er nu mee?
Ik probeer het hard wordt.
Oké.
Ja, maar.
Dat is waar.
Trying to take the heart out.
Yeah, it's working.
So while Luke is working, I want to say a few things before we start our lab.
Half an hour ago, the heart was still beating.
Can you put it in back?
sowieso sensitiviteit.
Ze zeggen dat het pas kan voelen als het uit het ei komt.
Nou, dat is wel gek. Want ze zeggen juist over menselijke embryo's zeggen ze zoveel dingen over wat het allemaal niet kan voordat het geboren is. Die boeken staan er vol mee. Kan wij horen, kan wij zeggen.
Kijk,
kan je een keer zo. Ja, maar was waarschijnlijk niet. Ja, ik heb toen. Nou,
ik heb heel ongeruste dingen gezeten.
Hij heeft een nacht niet kunnen slapen, toch? Nacht niet geslapen.
Ja, ik hoorde dat heel reëel. Jeetje, hoe moet het verder gaan?
Adam, do you want an egg?
Was Adam een alien half-breed? Dit gaat over het idee dat de mensheid bij de missing link tussen de evolutie en de creationistische theorie eigenlijk door aliens genetisch gemanipuleerd is en dat we daarom mensen zijn. Over de Anunnaki en dat is ongeveer 6000 jaar geleden.
Ja, dat ken ik wel. Dat stond op de Mesopotamische kleitablet. Mensen op aarde is neergezet, dat er buitenaardse wezens waren en die zijn hier op aarde gekomen. En hebben met genetische experimenten de mensen geschapen. Dus het staat op Mesopotamische kleitabletten van weet ik het hoeveel voor Christus. En op diezelfde kleitabletten staat ons zonnestelsel beschreven met alle planeten en het exacte gewicht en de omlooptijd van alle planeten.
Ja.
En een hele theorie dat de mensen als slavenras op aarde is gezet om goud te delven. Voor die...
die push-out. Ja, die push-out. Ja, zo. Hoe dan ook.
Dit is als lezen van DNA.
Ja, maar je leest tekens en die worden op een bepaald niveau geïnterpreteerd.
Oh ja, kijk, ik kan hier zeggen dat Adam aankomende zomer, behoorlijk zoals je in een DNA ook kan voorspellen, krijgt Adam een behoorlijke klap op zijn leven. Hij moet heel voorzichtig zijn. Want is DNA leren lezen, is dat geloven of is dat een kunst? Ja, kijk, dit is zijn DNA.
Horoscoop.
Ja. Kijk, we hebben hier de horoscoop, de DNA van Adam Zaretsky. Maar kijk, we zijn eigenlijk ook bezig met het klonen van Adam Zaretsky, zo.
Dit zijn de spreekwoordelijke oogkleppen.
Ja, de oogkleppen. Laat ze niet over een metafoor.
Ja? Ja. Heel mooi.
Laatste.
Ja. Nou, en toen zijn we eigenlijk mee naar de media gegaan, omdat we zo werden lastig gevallen door SP6. We hebben besloten al onze vonnissen zelf te doen, maar dat heeft wel geleid tot een enorme
En wat lekker.
You have your sample? It's quick, huh? Yeah, that was quick. You won the prize. Jeanette, I think you get the sample, right?
Yeah, inderdaad.
It's clean.
So, it's fresh right here?
We have sperm. This is perfect. Here's the murder meat.
It's hot.
Ik ben blij dat ik die niet heb.
This is pre-human.
So what are we going to do with it actually?
It's a secret. We're gonna breed.
Really?
Your species.
I hope it's good
out
quality.
Of the lab.
I just smoked.
You have to take the sperm out of the lab.
Out of the lab?
Yeah. Oh, more sperm?
Factory, you get material.
More sperm?
Yeah, get some sperm. Or should I produce some myself?
Yeah.
Well, not with them in there. It's awful.
Take me.
It's very awful. Come on, there is no, it's a disaster happening there. Real disaster.
Here?
In there, yes. Real disaster.
Okay.
Zo net mijn sperma niet
in de bessen.
In het eitje.
Hij is kapot.
What is the red stuff anyway? I had menstruation. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's like the alarm as well. Very good. What does this do?
You need to get some sperm too? Go to the bathroom right now. They're making sperm over there. Yeah, I got it too. All right.
Adam Zaretsky actually wanted me to perhaps talk about why I wouldn't participate in the process that was going on in there now. And so I suppose now arises the question of ethics. And Adam Fianaka and myself, we just primarily work with human cells and human serum and things like that. And I think that ethics, I mean, there's a lot of talk about boundaries with ethics, and I think that it's important to get to a point where you realise that boundaries are a complete illusion, that they're very constructed, and that they're incredibly different for everybody, and very personal, and very interchangeable and ephemeral, and that this is where I think a lot of the problems arise from biological research and as well as bioartistic research, because we're trying to talk or raise questions about ethics primarily. Most bioartists take a social commentary perspective on what they do, and it's almost impossible to do. So we're hoping that maybe rather than focusing on that aspect of it, that maybe we can almost go back and start from the beginning and say, well, let's first talk about the space of a scientist and what it is a scientist does and how some of these ideas are constructed.
Questions. Or...
Yeah. And then I think the ethics, because they're so personal, I think they need to stay there. I think we'll never have...
You think the ethical questions are not personal enough, or...?
I think that we're trying to generalise them because we have policies now. I think there's a really deep need for policy, and there's no way of avoiding this, where, you know, stem cell research, embryonic stem cell research, human cloning, it's on its way, it's unavoidable, and I think that we are desperately trying to grasp at some general idea of where we can place an ethical boundary. And it's just impossible to do, but it's necessary to do at the same time. So there's just that massive tension. So we're thinking perhaps we need to start going back to square one, because we've moved so fast through the biological era. So I think that from our experience, the public that has viewed our work has quite often just, rather than saying, you know, bioartists bring science into the realm of the public, they shift us over to the scientific quarters, and
you don't want to be used as an excuse.
Yeah. And while there's certain interest in kind of playing around with that space for artists, for us we're starting to wonder whether there is another angle that we can take, and by this we've started using our own house as a laboratory in a sense, and our own bodies, which is what our new project is about with the wearable incubator, so that the body becomes a site for a laboratory, in which case the body was always the perfect incubator anyway. You know, it's what scientific incubators or biological incubators are actually modelled on, is the human body. It has the same temperature, the same you know, the same atmosphere and
so
the same sterility.
You're a walking laboratory.
We're all walking labs. We're all walking incubators, I think, and especially women as well.
The question did arise of where to place the test tube. Yeah, we did quite a bit of talking about that, and yeah, we decided that's not one of the areas I'd like to go.
The perfect place is the anus, essentially. So
yeah, somewhere inside the body is always good.
Yeah.
I thought, well, which of these methods would I prefer to die under, right? What would be the most humane sacrifice for me? And I thought, not pressure cooker, not refrigerator. I thought, not autoclave. And I thought, not some cocaine-based thing. I don't want to die of a heart attack on speed. I thought, I want to die on heroin. And so I went to the head of the laboratory, like the stock person, you know, Trudy, and I asked her, can I get some heroin? I need some opium. And she said, I don't think so, but there is someone who studies it here. They study poppies in the metabolomics lab. And I don't think they're still licensed for this sort of thing. She said, how about Valium? But I came up with Valium. Most people wouldn't use Valium because, in particular for tissue culture, it makes the tissues less active. So they give them benzocaine, which numbs them. There seems to be a preference for numbing above a preference for time for reflection or actual relaxation, because benzocaine, although it numbs you, ups your heart rate, it ups your circulation, and that's not, I certainly wouldn't want to die on a stimulant overdose. I would prefer to die on a depressant overdose. Personally, I don't want to have like a heart attack, even if I'm numb, because I'll be hyper aware and I'll be like, I'm dying, instead of like, whoa, I'm dying. So, but that's not for me to say.
As the final say.
Well, the final say?
Who's gonna decide in the end?
Well, I let my students decide how they wanted me to kill their embryos and whether they wanted to donate them to science, and I let them decide between autoclave, ice, refrigerator, gas chamber, or fast flaming, like burned alive. I also offered them to come up with their own ritual, and I said, these are the humane ways to sacrifice, but if you come up with your own ritual, you don't have to be humane. It's up to you how you want to proceed. Even if you're inhumane, that's a lot of ritual sacrifices inhumane. So different students have come up with different methods and different requests, and also I converse with them and they change their mind sometimes. And there's no better answer. And the real answer to your question, who's the final decider? I would just say one thing, it's not the embryo. I don't think the embryo would choose any of these ways of being extinguished. Shall we?
Diazepam, oxazepam, lorazepam. Nice names. Flunitrazepam, and chlordiazepam. And this is aspirine Bayer. Okay.
Okay, so take a look in the incubator. You can open it up. I might wear gloves.
Oh.
Y'all being pregnant and everything, especially.
Maar niet heel
veel. Hierbij?
Ja.
Ja. Jou ook?
Ja, maar het is...
was het?
Animal.
Animal.
Ja, maar je ziet alleen maar...
Somatic machine.
Je ziet alleen...
Nice name.
Zie je, bij jou kan je niks zien vanwege de...
Nee, omdat hij wat aangeslagen is. Ja.
En bij mij zag je gewoon geel, geel alleen maar, ja. Dus ik weet niet, volgens mij, ik weet niet zeker of er iets gegroeid is. Ik denk dat ik het... ja. Ja, het verwarrend over mijn embryo.
I'm the executioner. I'm paid by the university. And my students, if they don't have enough time, I do it for them. So...
Can I take it out?
Yeah.
Want dat zit zie ik gooie sliertjes.
This one is yours, yeah? Is this yours, Miriam? No, this.
No. Mine is, I think, in the front. That's mine.
That's your somatic machine. And then there's animal. Is that yours, Jenny?
Yeah.
So you have a pheasant. And then this is mine, I believe. Fratricide. And believe it or not, this is the control. The only control.
Okay.
I don't want any impurities to get into the Valium. Let's see. Put a little water. What I just decided to do was just put a bunch in there.
Yeah.
So what I figured was there's some, and just to make sure there's some more. There's some weird green thing in there. It's paint of the tweezer. You guys have euthanasia here, yeah? Must be.
Yeah, but problematic, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be mixed a little better, but you know what? I'll do it on the way up. I'm really tempted. Can't hurt me. If I fall down dead, you'll know how stupid I actually am. Okay, let's get out of here before I make a fool of myself. Bring the egg.
Yes.